The S23 Ultra has a ton of new features you don't even know. No one is talking about the fact that the portrait video is now in 4K, or that super steady video can be shot in QHD resolution. The front-facing camera now has Pro mode for photos and videos. The phone is also a lot more durable with Gorilla Glass Victus 2. From performance to microphones to speakers to cameras, almost everything has upgraded. And so the S23 Ultra is an improvement over the S22 Ultra. Let's talk about this. And we'll talk about this in the end. First, no one is talking about the fact that they've upgraded the portrait video to 4K resolution, which is a major upgrade from 1080p last year in the S22 Ultra. And you know what? Now the portrait video can focus on objects as well. Earlier, it could only focus on human or pet faces, but now you can focus on objects as well. Second, super steady video mode now shoots in QHD resolution. Again, an upgrade from 1080p last year. So here's a quick video of me running around holding the phone, but in super steady video mode. And the footage seems quite stable to me. Honestly, Samsung had not upgraded their super steady mode in quite a few years, and I think it was high time they did it. Okay, next. The front camera now comes with Pro mode, which was earlier only limited to the rare cameras. So now you can quite literally shoot a professional photo of yourself given the right lighting, by being able to tweak white balance, ISO, shutter speed, and so on. But the best part about this is that the front-facing videos can also be shot using Pro mode. And so I can just hit record, attach like a wireless mic, and I can shoot a video of myself in 4K while I'm actually able to see myself. And this is game-changing, especially for professional vloggers, because this is Pro mode, right? So your lighting will not change. Your white balance, your exposure, all of those things are not going to change depending on changes in the lighting around you. This is really cool. But the biggest upgrade has been in the low light performance. And sure, the front camera has gone down from 40 megapixel last year to 12 megapixel this year, but it's a new sensor, which gives you clearer, crisper, and more color accurate selfies even in low light. And there's a lot of texture that's retained, so that adds to a lot of detail. And the front-facing camera is 60% faster in terms of autofocus. Even in the rare cameras, the photos in low light are so much better. Notice the noise in the sky? The S23 Ultra, it uses improved AI to reduce that noise. And clearly it works. Look at the exposure balance on areas with bright light. Even the text is so much more clear and crisp on the S23 Ultra. This also reflects in video. The AI works very hard to reduce noise and gives you a much cleaner video footage. And then it uses adaptive VDIS, and it's got 2x better optical image stabilization, so the footage is a lot less blurry. Now, I don't know about you guys, but personally, for me, I think this is a significant improvement in both low-light photos and videos. In fact, I really think it beats the iPhone 14 Pro series in low-light photos and videos. But you know what? We'll test that out and do a video on it, so definitely subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification icon so you know when that video comes out. Okay. And now let's talk about that 200 megapixel sensor. See, this looks like a pretty good photo, right? But this was actually a cropped in part of a photo that I took in the 200 megapixel mode. You'll now get the option basically to switch to a 200 megapixel mode and take shots that are really detailed, that even when you zoom in or crop into them, they will retain tremendous detail. I mean, if you look at some of these shots that I quickly took, they look very promising. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is that, are you the kinds who's going to take these large 200 megapixel photos, zoom in and crop? If yes, then you're going to have a lot of fun with this new camera. Now guys, I'll be testing this out more thoroughly, and I'll be posting more spontaneous updates on my Instagram, so you might want to follow me there. Next, even compatibility with third-party apps that you use for taking photos like Instagram or TikTok or even WhatsApp is better. So the quality of photo that now you take using these apps directly is going to be a lot better. Now guys, sure, we've all heard that the S23 series comes with one of the most powerful and overclocked Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, but the coolest thing is that it's going to support ray tracing games. So first of all, these games are yet to come later this year and even more next year. So these games offer a more PC-like experience, and it mimics real-world physics pertaining to light, shadows, and textures, giving you a more realistic gaming experience. The big deal is that the S23 Ultra is already prepared for it. Oh, and the S23 Ultra comes with a 2.7 times larger vapor chamber, which basically means it's going to stay a lot cooler despite more performance, which just means it's more power efficient, which means it should give you more battery life despite the same 5000 mAh battery. But you know what? We're going to test this out ourselves, and it's just a matter of a few days before the full review comes out. Definitely subscribe for that. Okay, let's get into some design facts. Now, the S23 Ultra, it might look a lot like the S22 Ultra, but don't be fooled by appearances. Firstly, the S23 Ultra is stronger than the S22 Ultra. So the S23 Ultra comes with Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is durable enough to survive falls on concrete as well as asphalt, basically rough surfaces or roads. And that is a big deal. I mean, who doesn't want one of the strongest Android smartphones, especially if you're paying such a heavy price? There's also this metallic rim around the lens that slightly differentiates it from the S22 Ultra, and that gives the S23 Ultra its own bold, unique look. And of course, it still has IP68 water and dust resistance, and it's got that strong armor aluminum body, which I don't. Now, I also just want to take a moment and recognize Samsung's focus on reducing their carbon footprint. Like right from their packaging that's made using 100% recycled paper, to their phone that uses recycled materials, to their accessories. I mean, as leaders, Samsung are doing their bit to make an impact, and I just wanted to express my support. Next, they've also very slightly improved the quality of the speakers. So now you just get a bit more volume and you get marginally better bass as well. I mean, it's not a major improvement, but it's definitely better than last year. Now, on the software front, the S23 series is one of the first set of phones to receive One UI 5.1. It's got a few things that are new. So obviously, you still get the lock screen editing options to customize and personalize it the way you want. You can stack widgets to save space and access them more easily. You can multitask between your Galaxy devices to transfer files, copy text, images, and much more. However, you also get some new features that you didn't see earlier, like the light mode performance profile or enhanced comfort option in Eye Comfort Shield, and a lot more features in the camera app. But you know what? Let me do a whole separate video talking about all the new features in One UI 5.1. It'll be out very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Now, let's talk about the pricing and the variants for a minute. So here are the launch prices for the US, and this is the corresponding India pricing. But you know what? Pre-booking offers really sweeten the deal. So here in India, if you pre-book the S23, you'll get the 256 gigs variant for the same price as that of the 128 gigs variant. If you pre-book the S23 Plus, you can get the Watch 4 for just 3,000 rupees. And if you pre-book the S23 Ultra, you can get the Watch 4 Classic LTE variant and the Buds 2 for just 5,000 rupees. And then on top of all of this, you can still get 8,000 rupees cashback through multiple bank discounts, making it even cheaper. And so yeah, in this video, I just wanted to touch upon things that were absolutely new in the S23 series, things that are hardly being talked about, or even talked about at the launch event itself. Now guys, it's only been a few days that I've been using the phone, and I'm yet to use it for another 1 to 2 weeks before I can share my full review. And share my opinion on camera's performance, battery life, heating, and overall experience. So now would be a great time for you to leave a comment and ask any question that you may have around this phone, and I'll surely address it in my full review. But yeah, in the meantime, if you want more spontaneous updates on my use with the S23 Ultra, definitely catch me on Instagram and follow me there. Okay, about this now. So this was basically a snowboarding accident. I was going down at high speed, lost my balance, and I fell in a way I shouldn't have. I basically landed on my right arm and my wrist kind of twisted. So it's a minor fracture and it's going to take about 4 weeks to heal, after which I'm going to have to wear a brace probably for 2 weeks. So all in all, I'm going to be a little slow, but I'm going to definitely get all the updates out to you. And so yeah, hopefully you'd be a bit more patient with me. Alright, that's pretty much it guys. Thank you for watching, and if this was helpful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification icon. And mark all. Helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.